everybody. It's your girl, the one and only Toresa Be Free. And I want to say thank you so much for tuning in to a brand new episode in Free's World. Listen, we just started the new season this year, and this is going to be the second episode in the new season of 12 episodes. And I am super excited about having this opportunity to come and sit and talk with you and share and bless and incite and call you out on the carpet, celebrate you, and just all the things in this new season of my life and in the season of your life. And so today's episode is entitled Surviving Infidelity, Survivor's Remorse. And I entitled it that with intention because when I started this channel, when I moved to Arizona, we're coming up on 3 years now. Can y'all believe it? It's been 3 years. But when I started this channel off back when I moved here, surviving infidelity was one of the first episodes that I shared. And so in me starting this process again of podcasting, I went back and I looked at some of the things that I had already put out. And so I just want to admonish you right now before I go any further. I want you to go down below after you watch this episode. Go down below and take in some of the previous content that I've shared with you here in Free's World, because the conversations are impactful. The information is useful. It's all relative to wherever you may find yourself in life now. It's just for me that I have grown and evolved and developed even more from those episodes back then, but it's all good stuff. And so I said all of that to say this. When I started the channel, after I moved to Arizona almost 3 years ago now, at the end of this month, one of the first episodes that I did was surviving infidelity. And so this episode actually is going to be a story time, but my intention is that it reaches the people that it needs to reach, that it inspires, empowers, and challenges you, whatever that may look like, into doing some things that you need to do for yourself. And so when I went back and I looked at that episode, I was like, oh my God, you were still going through the healing process, because just to be completely frank with you, I held back. I held back on some of the things that I was really thinking and even experienced to a great degree, simply because I was still trying to cover. But I'm so past that now. And so I want to talk about surviving infidelity, survivor's remorse. And let me just let you know right now, when I say survivor's remorse, there is no ill feelings in me whatsoever. I'm in a great space. I'm in a great place, but I want to talk because I believe that however the conversation goes today in this episode, it's just going to really help a lot of people, whatever that looks like. And so let me just start. So surviving infidelity, that would mean, to one, if you hear the word infidelity, that somebody was once married. And yes, I was once married. I've been married not once, but 2 times. And both marriages, just being completely frank with you, I dealt with Infidelity. The first one, that's a whole nother story in its own self, because I went through I went through a lot of abuse, physically, mentally, verbally. I went through some things, and I'll share about that at another time. But I want to talk about surviving infidelity, because in this particular case, the end of I thought I was in the marriage of a lifetime, because the first one I didn't even relate that to, even though technically I was married on paper. I really wasn't, because I was in that thing by myself. We had two kids together, and it really was just me raising the two kids. But in the second marriage, the person that I married, I really felt like that was my soulmate. And starting out, it was just such a beautiful, beautiful thing. I couldn't have asked for a better person in that particular moment. However, in retrospect, I have taken the time to look back at that, and I have come to the realization that even though I did it, going back, if I were to go back and play that over, it would have been a no. I would not have married that person, because number one, um, I was not where I needed to be in my mental, when it comes to dealing with men. And I don't believe that that person was ready either when it comes to their personal, and just dealing with life, period, for the both of us. There were so many things, and there were so many red flags for me. However, I chose to ignore them. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I feel it in my spirit right now. There are many of you who have tied yourself or connected yourselves to individuals where you have seen the red flags, but you choose to continue to ignore them. Well, I married this person, and it started out beautiful. I thought they were the best thing ever. But as time evolved, the real them began to show up. And so this was the first time in my life where I really felt like, and I knew that I loved somebody with the very fiber of my being, from my very core. I love this person in ways that I have never ever experienced loving anyone in that particular time of my life. And so, marriages, they have their ups and downs. They have their ebbs and they have their flows. You know, how marriages, one of the successful keys to a good marriage, is being able to communicate and really share with that individual what you're thinking, feeling, how you believe, what you want to do, so on and so forth. And so those things weren't really happening the way that they should have happened in the marriage. It could have prevented, and then again, it probably would not have prevented, because when it would not have prevented anything, because when you talk about the subject of infidelity, um, infidelity has to do with a character thing within that person, because the bottom line is a person is going to do whatever it is that they want to do, period, point blank. It's just that simple. And so I was looking at the video from when I started the channel, and I was just like, wow, why didn't you just say what was on your mind? Why didn't you just say how you felt? And granted, I did, but I was still holding back. And so I divorced that person. Um, the divorce was final back in 2020, and it was the best decision that I could have ever made for myself. There is absolutely no regret, no remorse from what I did, because my life is so much better because I finally made a decision to put myself first. However, in the midst of it all, in the chaos and in the turmoil of being in that toxic environment and relationship with that individual, I allowed myself to tolerate behaviors that I should not have. I was so much more worthy of the behavior that I was getting. I was so much more worthy than the behavior that I was receiving from that individual, because they really did not care. You did not care about how I felt. You did not care about how I thought about the circumstance or the situation. You did not care that you were doing it right in my face once I found out, and you kept going. And so um, it was just absolutely crazy. Some of the shit that I think about now that I dealt with, and I'm like, girl, 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 that why? And I did, and I made the excuse because I love him. Wrong answer. Remember, I talked about that in the first episode. I've learned how to deal in the dysfunction, thinking that is how life is supposed to function. No, it's not. And so that's why I'm here to talk to you. You are not created. You are not supposed to live. You cannot thrive in a toxic environment where chaos and turmoil reside every single day, every single month, every single year, minute by minute, moment by moment. And that's the type of environment that I found myself in. And that's the type of environment that many of you who will listen to this podcast, that's the environment that many of you are living in. And it's not just in a marriage, it is in so many, it manifests itself in so many other ways. So I'm dealing with a person who is very, very narcissistic, someone who feels like in all things that they are the victim, and that they didn't do anything wrong. And so one of the stories that I will share with you, where I found out that the this individual had stepped outside of our marriage, is when I was carrying my baby girl, or our baby girl. And um, for whatever reasons, I didn't see what was going on. I couldn't see the handwriting on the wall, as things were playing out. However, something happened. My eyes were finally open um, after I was home on maternity leave. And it's so weird how it all happened, but for whatever reasons, it was like the God spirit took the veils off of my eyes so I could see, because I was so busy working all the time. All I did was work, 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 work. I'm in survival mode, just work, 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 not paying attention to nothing, not paying attention to me. I had let myself go, not paying attention to my children. They just acting up, cutting up, doing all kind of stuff. Um, I'm just not there. I'm just not showing up like I'm supposed to. And then when I am doing things, every thought, every action, every how I communicate, everything is always directed and geared towards accommodating this individual while I put myself up on the damn shelf. And put myself out there on the back burner. No, I not on the back burner. I put myself out in the field. a field of nothingness, while this person lived their life the way that they want to live, while they lived their life the way that they wanted to live it and however they wanted to live it, regardless to how I felt, thought, communicated, anything. They were just going to do what they were going to do. So I was pregnant and things were happening, but I didn't realize things were happening until after I had my baby and I was at home on maternity leave. And one day I just happened to just tune in to some behaviors that I seen, and I was like, and so spirit started talking to me and told me what it was. And so I have made a mental note that when this person came home, we needed to talk. And so, anyway, make a long story short, we did, and that's what it was. He was seeing somebody else and had been seeing this individual for a very long time. And one of the things that I want to highlight right here as I pause just for a moment is I want to talk about, or I just want to plant the seed regarding boundaries. It is so important that whomever you're with, and you don't even have to be married, but it's somebody that you're talking to, and you all have had the discussion that it's not just you're talking to, but you and this person are an item. If that kind of communication has came up, then the two of you need to have a clear, concise, honest conversation about what the acceptable boundaries are. That's not something that we did. And I just trusted. I just trusted like a dummy because I am a trusting person, especially when it comes to people that I really care about, and I believe that they care about me. And obviously, in this situation, in this circumstance, this is my husband, so I really believe in my heart that he cares about me, and he would never do anything to hurt me or to break my heart or do anything knowingly that would hurt me, that would break me. Well, and again, wrong answer. So my first episode of dealing with infidelity is discovering that this man that I love was having an affair on me while I was pregnant, and I discovered the truth um, through having a conversation with him after the baby was born. And so, ladies, I know many of you can identify. Those of you who are mothers who have carried your child for 9 months and birth that baby out. This is no shade to those moms who cannot have children for various reasons and you've adopted or whatever the case may be. God bless you, because we need more of you. But to the women who have been blessed with the honor to do that, you know that once you have a child, you are on an emotional roller coaster because you're dealing with going through the process of postpartum. And you are cray cray. You are delulu. You are everywhere, right? So, if you can, put yourself in my shoes. And some of you have been in my shoes, but put yourself in my shoes of finding out that your significant other has stepped out and continues to step out, and you just had a baby. Baby, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Surviving infidelity, survivor's remorse, baby. I felt like I was going absolutely crazy, literally. And there was one day in particular in that whole experience where I felt like I was having a mental breakdown. Oh my God. a mental breakdown. I was losing control. And I'm a new mommy all over again. And and now I got to deal with this bull crap. And I'm trying to figure out how in the world am I going to make it for for myself? How am I going to make it for this little baby girl that I got? How am I going to make it with the other kids that are in the house? How am I going to make it through all of this bull crap that is on my plate that we are dealing with? And then I got to go back to work in 6 weeks. And let me just say, because I don't want to make this too long. I do want to hear from you all, so I am encouraging you to drop down in those comments and talk back to me, because I need to know if what I'm talking about is helping somebody, blessing somebody, inspiring somebody, empowering somebody by sharing my story, because I have nothing to hide. That's why my name is Toresa Be Free, because I am free to be absolutely, completely my often, I can't say the word, my authentic self. I crack myself up. You got to be able to laugh at yourself. But I want you to drop down in those comments and talk to me, because I know this story resonates with thousands of women all around the world, not just in the United States, but in the world. So I felt like I was losing all of my mind, but God kept me. He kept me as He kept my mind as I weathered through the storm. And so, as I think about this now, and as I get ready to bring this episode to a close, because there's more. There wasn't just this one, but this one was so impactful, because this began the stage or the process of breaking me, where I started pulling back. I started pulling back. I started looking at life, looking at myself through a different lens. I started looking at this individual through a different lens. But I did not know how I was going to get through this. I did not know what I was going to do. So, therefore, because I was in a tug of war, because I was still hopeful in the midst of it all, I was still hopeful that things are going to get better. I was still hopeful that this person was going to figure it out and start loving me the way that I needed and deserved to be loved. So you know what I did. I stayed. Y'all know it. Women, you know it. I stayed. Now there's many of you that will say, "Girl, you stupid as." I know, but I stayed because I had hope that things would get better. I had hope. I hoped that things would get better. And I hoped that this would not ever happen again. So therefore, that's why I'm telling you, and I will always talk about it. I tolerated things that I had no business tolerating. When the line was crossed, that's when I should have made hard decisions there. However, I have grace. I'm giving grace to so many. I had to give grace to myself as I went through the healing process. You know why? Because every woman, every man that experiences this, you have this is how I want to bring this to a close. Each and every one of you, including me, has your very own process that you have to go through before you can finally say to yourself, you know what? Enough is enough. You know what? I'm not dealing with this no more. You know what? I deserve so much better than what I am getting. You know what? Here's the hard one for y'all that you're gonna have to chew on. You know what? this person is not equipped. They really are not. Oh, I feel it in my spirit. I feel it moving through my body. This person is really not equipped to give me what I need to be able to receive from them. They're not equipped to do it. So that means that you have to see them where they are and not where you want them to be. Oh my God. I feel it. Oh my God, I feel it. That was for a whole lot of you right there. That's some tough meat to chew on. But that was my realization. So, surviving infidelity, survivor's remorse. The remorse was I allowed myself to stay way longer than what I should have. However, I'm thankful for the lessons that I learned about me so that I could now be in a seat and in a position and in a space in life without harboring any bitterness or malice towards that person or even myself. But I'm able to give you all some wisdom nuggets, some life nuggets that help you reflect, that help you sit back and learn and listen to how you are tolerating in your life things that you know you have no business tolerating, but you have been. Yeah. That's what this is all that's what this is all about. So as we move forward in our conversations over here in Free's World, I want you to do me a favor. Drop down in them comments and start talking to me. Let the community conversations begin. Let's engage in conversations that matter about things in life that are real, things in life that are relevant, places where we are so that we all together as a collective can do the work so that we can be all become healed, healthy, and whole for ourselves. Because this time it's about you. This time it was about me. And that's the place that I'm working to get you all to. Thinking about you and not so much emphasis anymore on that other person and the kids. It's time for you to start thinking about you. Okay? So listen, I want to say thank you so much. I love you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode with your girl, Toresa Be Free, right over here in Free's World, where we talk about all things life, health, relationships. We're going to do some cooking and all those things too. My baby girl might even pop up on some of these episodes too. But I want to say thank you for tuning in. And until next time, remember to smile because somebody needs to see those pretty whites. I love y'all. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.